Good morning, everyone. It is the 18th of April, 2024, mid-morning. I got my new little transmitter there for my little lapel mic again from Amazon. So I'm back on track with audio. I did a little bit of work this morning in Philadelphia. I'm back home, so I've got the rest of the day, unless I get called away to do something else. But anyway, I have two goals to start the day with. Number one is to install my new replacement windshield washer bag. That'll be a quick win, easy to check and install all that. And then I will start adjusting that steering gear as my mechanic advised me to do. He said to loosen the lock nut on it, screw the screw all the way down, back it off one full turn, and then test drive it. So that's what I'm going to do. The engine's cool right now, so easy to work in there. So hopefully it doesn't take much adjusting, because otherwise it's going to get kind of hot in there again. So that's what I'm starting with today. All right, spent a couple hours fiddling around with my car here. On the positive side, I've got my new windshield washer bag installed, and it works. Doesn't appear to be leaking, so we're good there. I did adjust the steering gear, the sector shaft several times, only to discover that there's probably absolutely nothing wrong with the steering gear. So I basically put it back the way it was, because the more I backed out the screw, the looser the steering became. So I'm putting it back where it belongs. So the steering column is pretty tight where it should be. Um, and my mechanic drove the car with me in the passenger seat, and he said, "Boy, it sure feels like maybe the rear end of the car is wandering, and the front end's trying to compensate for it." That was his initial impression, anyway. But he definitely agrees there's something wrong. So I did some research online, and everything I read, if you don't have worn components, and I don't because I've replaced them all, everything points to front end alignment. So he's suspicious about the front end alignment that was done at Midas, that maybe they didn't do a complete job, which is what I think. So he's going to work with the guy and see if maybe we can bring the car back and have them take a second look, because they did the alignment rather quickly. I don't think they actually did a very good alignment or a thorough alignment. It looks like all they really did was maybe adjust the tie rod sleeves and nothing else. I don't think they touched the caster or the camber, and I think that's probably where the issue is. I've never had a car, late 60s Lincoln that's wandering like this one is, and it's bad. When you move that wheel, it just kind of jerks all over the place. It's definitely not right. And it did the same thing with the old tires as doing with the new tires. So I know it's not the tires. So really everything is pointing to the front end alignment as the issue. So focusing on that, working with my mechanic on that. So I'm going to see what else I might be able to accomplish in the meantime while I have some time. Apparently I spoke too soon. My brand new windshield washer bag is empty. It leaked out in the same exact place, right at the seam down here at the bottom. So whatever company made these for old car clearance or whatever, this whole batch is no good. So I think I'm just going to request a refund, and I'll just buy one from a different aftermarket supplier, and hopefully they don't have the same source for these bags. I don't know. All right, I'm taking a step back. This is kind of frustrating, so I'm going to wait and hear back from my mechanic as far as when they can take another look at the alignment. Either that, or I'm just going to take it somewhere else to a different alignment place and have them take a look at it independently. And I'm going to have to contact old car clearance again about the second leaking washer bag. And I think I'm just going to take a break from her today. Have a good evening. Bye. All right, I'm doing a second wrap-up video here. I thought I was done with that last clip, but I did some more things. I received that little adapter hose for my heater valve. I'll show you that in a minute and how I'm planning on using it. When I took a step back from my car, I went and cleaned up in my shed, and I cleaned out my parts cleaner. I drained all the cleaner out of it and dug all the sludge that was in the bottom of it. I'm not going to be using that parts cleaner anymore before I plan my move to Texas early next year. Since I've got my car running and driving now, I'm not planning on any major parts cleaning activities. What I did discover or realize, one of my friends from YouTube, Jeff Smith, he sends me emails too. He reminded me, and he didn't remember that he told me this last year, but when I went through my steering gear last year and resealed it, I didn't rebuild it, I resealed it. I'm pretty sure it has the same problem that he described that he's had twice before on two different cars, early 60s Lincolns, where he described kind of a flat spot on the sector gear. And he described the symptoms that match mine identically, exactly the same. So I decided maybe there's nothing wrong with the alignment after all, and everything else has been replaced. And since I didn't replace the steering gear or rebuild it, I just resealed it, I decided to go ahead and purchase another steering gear, a rebuilt one. They're expensive. The best I could find as far as affordability was Mark II Enterprises. So I went ahead and ordered it. So my next project on the car then is going to be to remove the steering gear that I have on the car right now. I don't know when I'll get to that. Probably be a few days before I can actually do that. Hopefully I'll have it off by the time the replacement gear gets here. But I have a feeling that's probably my issue, and that should take care of things. It better. It better. So let me show you this heater valve stuff I'm talking about. So this is this little adapter hose here that actually is designed for a Volkswagen Jetta. And on the one end is kind of a 7/16, and this is a 5/8. So this is that T that I bought. So my intention is to kind of fit this at the back of the engine behind the intake manifold where it rests above the valley cover. And then I can bend this hose up a little bit and get my 5/8 hoses on there for the heater core. At least that's my intention, trying to do it that way anyway, since I couldn't find a adapter here that had a 7/16 fitting on it. So I should have my heater core tomorrow, actually, Friday. Yeah, so I might, if I have time tomorrow, I might actually install that on the car. So now I'll wrap it up. Have a good evening. Thanks.